Deep Japan. Today I'm here at Nara Imperial Palace. Let's go and see. Cut! Before I show you the ancient Imperial Palace of Nara, I will talk a little about the international students program in 7th century called Kentoshi in Japanese language. In the Nara Palace site historical park, there is a replica of the sailing ship in 7th century. It is a ship which sailed from Japan to Tang, which is the old name of China, Tang dynasty. This ship was made for the project called Kentoshi, which means a project sending Japanese students to Chang'an, the capital city of Tang. Students were from many fields: monks, officers, carpenters, shipbuilders, or medical doctors, and so on. On their way back to Japan, the ship carried Japanese students who had finished their program of 2 or 3 years and books or sutras. And this program was carried out 16 times, and the emperors of Tang dynasty were so kind to international students. The emperors gave all the educational or living expenses to them without requiring anything like rare metals. But these trips were risky. Their ships were small and wooden, and there were no Google Map. And also, the East China Sea was off-raising, so sometimes they suffered shipwrecks. But for the ambitious students in 7th or 8th century in Asia, going to Tang was their dreams. One more thing, it is about Ganjin, the famous stowaway. Ganjin was not a Japanese. He was the highest rank Buddhist monk in Tang. Every Japanese knows about him. It is a great story. In 8th century, Japan was a Buddhist country. But Japan is isolated islands. There were few master Buddhist monks. And one day, 2 international students from Japan visited famous Ganjin's temple, and they said to Ganjin, "We don't have the great monk like you in Japan. Would you please send one of your disciples to Japan?" Ganjin was very pleased to hear that, and he asked his disciples if they could go to Japan. But nobody volunteered to go to Japan because it was dangerous to sail to Japan. So Ganjin said, "Okay, then I will go to Japan." Everybody in the temple was astonished to hear that. "Oh, my Buddha, you must stay here." But Ganjin's determination was so strong. "I will go to Japan. No. I want to go to Japan." But in those days, they need the permission to go abroad. But Ganjin could not get it because he was the highest rank monk in town. So Ganjin tried to stow away in the Japanese ship for students heading for Japan. But one of the disciples of Ganjin tipped off to the Chinese officer, and the 2 Japanese students were arrested, and Ganjin was sent back to his temple. But Ganjin still wanted to go to Japan. Next time, he hid himself in the Japanese ship at the harbor, pretending Japanese. But before the ship left the harbor, the Chinese officer found him in the ship, and he was taken back to his temple again. I don't know why, but he still tried to go to Japan. Next time, he succeeded to hide himself in Japanese ship, and the ship left the harbor. But oh my Buddha, the ship suffered a shipwreck, and Ganjin was rescued and taken back to his temple again. Unfortunately, he became blind, probably because of this accident. It was his sixth challenge that he finally succeeded to leave the port and arrived Japan in 753 at the age of 65. The challenges going to Japan took 12 years for him. That's why he is famous and popular in Japan. There's also a cruise ship named Ganjin now, but I don't think it's a good name for the ship. Anyway, Ganjin was welcomed to Japan as a hero, and the Japanese emperor rolled out the red carpet for him, and the emperor built Ganjin's temple called Tosho Daiji in Nara. This temple did not have any sect. He accepted all the monks and taught them Buddhism. Thank you for coming to Japan. Buddha bless you. If you visit this temple, you can see Ganjin's statue made in 8th century and his grave. Okay, let's go and see the Nara Palace Site Historical Park. Nara Palace Site Historical Park is really huge because this is the very place the ancient palace existed in 7th century. All the buildings you see here are not the original buildings, but believe or not, all these buildings are built in the same way as the carpenters built in the 7th century. This is the entrance gate called Suzakumon. You can see the main building called Taikyoku-den far ahead. You can see the replica of the ship used for Kentoshi, the international student program in 7th century, near the Suzakumon Gate. You can get on this ship. Actually, everything in this huge park is free of charge. It took more than 1 month from Japan to China, and on this small sailing ship, more than 100 passengers were on board. This is the anchor. This special room is for the ambassador, but it is very small. The sail is made of bamboo. Bamboo sail was much stronger than fabric sail. There are some museums in this historical park. This shows the construction of the palace in 7th century. They built it without using nails. This way. The buildings you see here are built using this technology. This is a sewage pipe in 7th century, excavated here. This is a pillar of the palace. Now I'm heading for the main building. Now they are rebuilding the south gate of the main palace, of course using the ancient method of construction. This is what they are building. This is a goal. This project is like Sagrada Familia. The roof ornament of the palace. This is a main palace called Heijokyuseki. You can go inside. That is the throne of the emperor, called Takamikura. The ornaments of Takamikura. This is a view from Takamikura. You can see the south gate ahead. This is a balcony in front of Takamikura. I'll show you another museum. They preserve the excavation site as it is here. Lastly, you can see the ancient Japanese-style garden. How did you like the Imperial Palace in Nara? I hope you like it. See you soon. Bye. Cut!